The rise, fall, redemption of the MCU, Marvel Phase 5 breakdown. Marvel is all set for a fresh start with Fantastic Four, and this isn't just a simple reboot of one franchise, it's the beginning of an entirely new chapter for the MCU. Because let's be honest, the recently concluded phase didn't generate excitement as much as it caused confusion and disappointment among fans. Phase 5 had a total of 12 live action projects, but only a few of them stood out or were worth remembering. So today, let's take a deep dive into which projects truly shined and which ones ended up damaging the MCU's legacy. We'll start from the bottom of the list so that as we climb up, it actually feels like a victory. At the bottom, Secret Invasion. Let's get one thing straight, Secret Invasion was all hype and no delivery. Fans of the comics know how legendary this storyline is. Even the animated adaptation had done a brilliant job, but when Marvel brought it into live action, it just fell flat. Nick Fury, one of the most iconic characters in the MCU, felt more like a tired old agent with no spark. Maria Hill's death, zero emotional impact. The urgency of the Skrull invasion, nowhere to be found. There was no tension, no thrill, and honestly, it felt like even Marvel had no idea where this story was heading. It's one of those entries in MCU history that fans would rather forget ever existed. Next, Echo. This show was hyped up as a gritty, action-packed, violent drama. The return of Kingpin created major buzz among fans. But as the episodes rolled in, that excitement fizzled out. Echo's character lacked depth. Side characters were barely visible. The action scenes didn't live up to the promise, and the story was so linear that getting to the climax felt more like a patience test than an enjoyable journey. Marvel tried to make it dark and grounded, but the result? A boring, directionless series. Third worst, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania expectations were sky high. This film was supposed to kick off the Kang era, bring chaos to the multiverse, and set the foundation for the new saga. But what we got instead felt more like a CGI amusement ride. It lacked emotion, it lacked depth. Ant-Man felt sidelined in his own movie. The Wasp's presence was barely noticeable. And although Kang was portrayed powerfully, it all felt meaningless because his future in the MCU is now uncertain due to off-screen issues. Fourth from the bottom, the Marvels, visually colorful but emotionally hollow. Kamala Khan had a brief shine. Monica Rambeau's arc felt rushed. As for Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, fans still don't seem to connect with her. The story felt scattered instead of engaging. And the villain? So forgettable I can't even recall their motive. However, there was one major positive, the post-credit scene, where Monica ends up in an alternate universe, possibly the X-Men universe. That opened up doors to the multiverse again, hinting at connections we may see in future crossover events like Avengers, Secret Wars. Fifth, Ironheart. A highly intelligent character like Riri Williams deserves a smart, logically grounded show, but this was anything but. The series lacked clarity and consistency. It focused more on personal complaints and shallow dialogues instead of the core values of being a superhero. There was a moment where Riri comes under Mephisto's influence, hinting at Marvel's dark universe. That part was interesting, but overall the show lacked direction. She builds a suit using magic, but the only power it gives her is to see the villain, the Hood, while he's invisible. Seriously? If you're using magic, give us something powerful, something explosive. Sadly, none of that happened. Only memorable takeaway: Mephisto's involvement, which could mean we'll see more mystical elements in future MCU projects. Sixth, Captain America, Brave New World. This movie had the emotional weight of Sam Wilson officially stepping in as Captain America, but the execution just average. Red Hulk's appearance was certainly exciting, but the rest of the story felt weak. The plot involving adamantium was interesting, but it was barely used in the actual story. The villain, the leader, didn't feel like a serious threat despite how he was built up. Sam Wilson's character also came off as inconsistent, at times a hero, at times an activist. The spark we saw in his chemistry with Steve Rogers was missing here, even though he had a new Falcon alongside him. Seventh, Agatha, All Along, Daredevil, Born Again early episodes. Both these shows felt like missed opportunities at first. Agatha's early episodes were flat, with a slow pace and inconsistent tone. Daredevil, Born Again initially had a weak start too, but things turned around once Marvel replaced the creative team. The last few episodes gave us a fresh, raw version of Daredevil's world. The new team's vision added energy and clarity. Delosem 8, Deadpool Wolverine, beautifully chaotic. Now this one wasn't perfect, but it was wild, meta, unpredictable, and that's exactly what fans wanted. Deadpool's fourth wall breaking was top notch. Wolverine's gritty presence grounded the chaos. The multiversal madness didn't need deep logic, it was just pure fun. This movie felt like a live action comic book, messy, loud, energetic. It's made for fans who are tired of the typical superhero formula and are looking for something wildly different. The poster's hidden symbolism, a game of shadows and fire. The War 2 poster isn't just a character showcase, it's a battlefield of emotions, ideologies, and impending war. The dual color palette tells two different stories at once. On one side, you have Hrithik Roshan's Kabir, silent, composed, standing against a backdrop of icy blue-grey chaos, representing discipline, strategy, and control. On the other side is NTR Jr., ablaze in an atmosphere of orange and molten gold, symbolizing rage, fire, and raw instinct. This juxtaposition visually confirms the core theme of the film: order versus chaos. It's not just two agents on opposite missions, it's two philosophies clashing. Kabir follows protocol while NTR's character is likely someone who breaks rules for a greater cause. Ashit Mai Compten. War within a war. Is there a deeper enemy? From the way both characters face opposite directions and stand back to back, we're led to ask, are they fighting each other or something larger? In YRF spy universe tradition, the enemy is rarely who it first appears to be. Kabir and NTR might start off as opponents, but it's possible they will join forces against a common, shadowy antagonist, perhaps someone connected to the syndicate mentioned in Pathan or Tiger 3. Also, this duality may represent the inner conflict, each man torn between personal loss, loyalty to their country, and the weight of the past. The war is not just global, it's internal. The NTR's look, symbol of rebellion. NTR's character design tells a story without words. Long hair, a rugged face with a battle-worn beard, and fire dancing around him. He could be an ex-agent, a rogue spy, or a vigilante working outside the system. He doesn't wear a uniform, not even a tactical one, which signals non-conformity. His posture isn't of defiance, it's of dominance. He's not scared to walk into the fire. In fact, he thrives in it. Hrithik's Kabir, the cold strategist, returns. In contrast, Kabir's cold, almost clinical design is a continuation of what we saw in War 2019. The gloves, the grey-toned outfit, the suppressed fury in his eyes, Kabir has changed. He's colder now, possibly more ruthless. He walks toward the storm with precision, his weapon close but not raised. That's key. It shows restraint. Kabir won't shoot unless he has to, but when he does, it's fatal. His aura tells us that he's evolved since the events of war. This is not the same Kabir. He's darker now, probably due to betrayal or loss. Thematic expansion of the spy universe. War 2 is not just an action movie, it's an expansion of an ideology. The poster hints that the spy universe is entering morally grey territories, no more clear-cut heroes or villains. It's about choice, perspective, and personal truth. This is further supported by the muted tagline and absence of loud text. The studio trusts the visuals to deliver the intensity. That's cinematic confidence. Connections to Pathan and Tiger. There are subtle visual clues that might connect War 2 with other films. The shadowy background bears resemblance to the underground labs we saw in Pathan. The weapon on Kabir's back matches the silhouette of Uzi-style automatic rifles used by JOCR, Joint Operations Command and Research. And the burning wreckage behind NTR might belong to the same rogue syndicate vehicle types last seen in the Tiger 3 finale. All these small elements point to a shared storyline, possibly leading to an Avengers-style crossover film in the YRF spy universe. Conclusion: this isn't just War 2, it's a turning point. The poster doesn't reveal everything, but what it does show is enough. The symbolism, color contrast, posture, attire, and atmospheric effects combine to send one message loud and clear. This time, it's not just a war between enemies, it's a war between beliefs, between fire and ice, between freedom and duty. And the audience? We're not just watching a movie, we're being pulled into a storm that will reshape the spy universe.